ideas don't always make a good business. The reason why this is critically important is because what happened in the last 5 to 10 years is not what's happening now. It is very different. When we speak about a lot of the most notable successes in kind of technology and kind of entrepreneurial history in the last kind of 10 years, you know, names like Facebook, Google, YouTube, those guys kind of spring out, all these guys, right? But there's a stark difference between what they were able to achieve then and what we're able to achieve now. Even in and around the kind of dot-com boom and bust that I was a part of, the landscape and the appetite for entrepreneurship is very different from an investor perspective. And this colours what entrepreneurs should be doing, and I'll explain why. Maybe 10 years ago, you could rock up with a PowerPoint presentation or a one-page, or maybe even a really good pitch and get investment. You could get 100 grand, $500,000, somebody would invest in your idea. That is the reason why there was a bust. It was just an idea, and there were too many assumptions made around the strength of an idea. So we think that's a great idea, it will make a great business. But the reason why that is not often the case is because the idea is out there on its own. Anybody can implement that idea. You're not the only one that can implement that idea. In fact, you're probably not the only one who is thinking about that idea. The implementation of the idea and what I call the assisting elements to that idea are more critical than the idea itself. What happens today, when you approach any kind of funder, bank manager, crowdfunding, an investor, and you give them, and you pitch up with a really good idea, what they will consider is, okay, that's a good idea, I've just heard 10 other good ideas in the last month or whatever. The question that they'll have in their mind, and they may or may not tell you this, is, Ali, in his mind, can Ali actually make this idea happen? They'll actually start asking questions about you. So for example, when you watch Dragon's Den, you'll hear the dragon saying, tell me a bit more about you. And the reason why they're doing that is because they're trying to assess whether or not Ali or Peter or any other individual, whether or not they have what it takes to make this idea work. And that is far more important to them than the idea itself, because ideas by themselves do not make money. A great idea doesn't necessarily make lots of money. You can have a very mediocre idea and make lots of money. There was a gentleman I met at an event a couple of years ago, and he was very well-to-do, very comfortable, wealthy chap, and I asked him, what do you do, right? What is your business? He said, okay, you know Mercedes? I said, yeah. You know the Mercedes wheels? Yeah. He said, you know the bolts that go into Mercedes wheels? Yeah, where are you going with this? He said, I supply Mercedes in the UK with all of the bolts that go onto their wheels. And I thought, wow, he's wealthy from selling bolts that go onto a wheel. The point is that he took what looks like probably the most boring product on the planet, and he's made a success out of it. But it's not the product that was a success, it was him. It was him, it was the business framework that he was able to put behind a bolt and make himself quite wealthy. So, for example, when I was in St. Kitts, I had a meeting. Anyone heard of St. Kitts? Yeah. Alright, cool. St. Kitts is a tiny island in the Caribbean. But let me just give you an idea. So this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. I had a meeting with the chairman of the St. Kitts National Bank, and we were talking away, and I was thinking, oh, this is a really small bank, it's not worth much. And he said, look, Julian, he said, I started this bank with $50,000 US. This was in the 80s, and it's now worth $2 billion. And immediately, I was just completely and utterly humbled by this man. And I thought, wow, in a time when banks are in a decline, you've managed in this tiny island to increase the net worth of your bank considerably, almost exponentially. And the leverage that he's able to get out of that, and he's trying to create a new currency for the Caribbean, all this grand stuff, right? But in speaking to him for the hour that I did, it was obvious that it was him. It was him as an individual, his ability to get the right team around him, his ability to lead and provide vision, the necessary individuals for over a sustained period of time that has allowed him to become this success.